Hello everybody and welcome back to Kenji Land. My name is Livethejourney and things are a little different this week. I started off by trying to put together a small blaze farm. Now I know you can build these things really elaborately with like lava flows and that, especially since we have two blaze spawners right near each other. But I just wanted to go with something simple. Maybe I can upgrade it later, but for now, I just wanted something that would give us the blaze rods we need for end rods and for smelting fuel, that sort of thing. I don't need a massively efficient farm. Plus, I'm not gonna lie, I am really sick of trident killers. Don't get me wrong, they're amazing, they do a great job, but the noise, oh my goodness, the noise. It's just mind-numbing sometimes. So, I decided to build this one a little more old school. Which means lots of glass and a sword. Now, I was watching some mechanics about how these things spawn, and I learned a few things that I didn't know before. Like, for one, you can block them spawning just by surrounding the spawner with glowstone. That was just a revelation, because I used to cover the entire spawning area with solid blocks to prevent spawns. And I can tell you that's a much bigger pain than this was. The second thing was, there was a video about a mob farm, and unfortunately I can't find it now, so I can't give it credit, that said that mobs will try to go towards a solid block, or rather, blazes will. So if you build out of glass, they'll automatically path towards the closest solid block they can land on. Which is sort of what I went for here. I was trying to make it so that they would be inspired to come down towards where I would be waiting with my sword. I don't think the vertical surfaces matter because obviously they can't land on those. So if I just covered every spot with glass, I was hoping that would work out okay. Now, one other thing we tried was, I tried to go for alternate methods of killing. I set up a temporary snowman-based one, but the snowman, poor thing, died almost instantly in the nether. I should have known that was going to happen. I tried setting up one that used wither roses to kill. I tried setting up one that used powdered snow to kill. And sure enough, these things kill just fine, but unless you manually kill, or use a trident killer, you don't get the blaze rods dropping, so it was basically useless. But a fully manual farm works just fine. And it does seem like they come down fairly quickly. If you AFK here for like 2 minutes, you end up with a whole bunch of them just down at the bottom waiting for you to kill them. I don't think it's as fast as the guy in the video made it seem, but it's decent enough. And it's more than we'll really need to keep ourselves in blaze rods for the near future anyway. I've got the second spawner marked out just in case. Now, my second project of the week was, well, this area over here. It's the opening to our developing commercial area. This was never meant to be our commercial area, but it just started happening. We started getting these little shops, and I noticed they were all in a row. So I sent out a message to the group asking if it would be okay if I added a little boardwalk here, just to make it a little more picturesque, and a little more mob-proof. Never try to rush these things. The Kenji Landers and I were checking out some of the free maps that came out with the spring celebration from Mojang. And one of them was the Crab Cove Carnival, and I really liked the boardwalk they did there. Which is sort of the inspiration for this, though I must say their boardwalk is a lot more detailed than ours. Maybe ours will grow with time and become more elaborate. But for now, it's just, well, it's a pretty straightforward one. There we go. It's already, even with just this, a big improvement over what we had. I appreciate it. Now, one other thing that I needed desperately is a set of wings to get around quickly. Granted, our world is limited to 800 blocks right now, like 800 in any direction, so it's not massive distances, but who doesn't love flying? And since I already own the gunpowder farm, it seemed logical that I should start getting to work on rockets and wings and things like that. So I took a little jaunt into the nether. Plus, you know, who doesn't want a bunch of shulker boxes? Here we go. Booyah, there's some wings. Alright. I'm not sure why I bothered stopping to pick up the gold. Like, really, who needs that? We have a gold farm. I mean, come on. Oh, this is embarrassing. I don't like rewatching this. This is gonna hurt. Oh. The advantage of videotaping yourself, though, is that I had the coordinates, so it wasn't that hard to go back and pick up all my stuff. In the end, nothing major lost. And now our final project for this week. This one, I mean, it seems quick, and it really was. It wasn't a complicated project at all, but it was again inspired by that Crab Cove world that we played together. In that, they had a mini game where you fought monsters and you hit them with, I guess, magic sticks that had knockback, and you were trying to knock them off the platform, and they just kept coming. And it was a lot of fun it was me, Killa, Megalina, and Mejo were all there, actually. We had a lot of fun with it. So it gave me the idea of building a little sumo ring for us that we could play around with using knockback swords. So the idea would be that we'd each have a wooden knockback 2 sword. Ow. And we would try to knock each other out of the ring, sumo style, right? It's a very simple minigame to make, and honestly, I haven't made a lot of minigames, so starting simple seemed like the best way to go to me. I did need it to be spawn-proof because I didn't want basically a creeper to show up here and end up causing the whole thing to get blown to pieces before we could even use it. I thought about using another design as well. At one point, I had considered putting it level with the ground and then putting like a trench around it, or making it only one high up and putting honey blocks around it. The idea being that if you got knocked out, I didn't want you to be able to jump back in immediately and say, oh, nope, I didn't get knocked out. I wanted it to be very obvious. But just putting it 2 off the ground made it clear enough. If you get knocked out, you can't pretend you didn't because you're having to run upstairs to get back in. Plus, I trust my fellow Kenji landers. Nobody would cheat. There we go. That's the surface of it done. Now we just need to add a little bit of decoration. This is another one of those things that it's going to be fairly simple right now, but I can add some detail to it later. If it turns out we like this game, and it's something we're going to use more than once, then I'll absolutely update it and upgrade it. But for now, I want to keep things relatively simple. Not relatively, dead simple. So the only ornamentation that's really going on here is a set of banners. And I sent out a message to some of the other Kenji landers to see if they'd be interested in having a little match on here tomorrow on stream. So hopefully I'll be able to give you guys a heads up on that next week. So that's what I've been up to this week on Kenji Land. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And absolutely leave your comments below so I know what's working for you and what's not. I'll see you soon. Bye!